What's up everybody, this is Scrambles. This is my first video review as well as my first video posting up onto YouTube. So go kind of easy as far as critiquing it, but if anyone does have any tips or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. As far as hating on the team or the pads, if you don't like them, that's your opinion, but I could care less. Anyways, to start it all off, I've been playing a little over a year and a half now. I recently moved to Albuquerque and figured it'd be fun to get back into it. Surprisingly, there are ice rinks out here. And started out with a pair of loaner pads almost all the way around. But it worked for the time being until I got the funds to buy my own equipment. Big gripe I had about the leg pads I was borrowing, they were Von Legacies, I believe. They had next to nothing as far as a knee stack, and they were short as hell. They were pretty much cricket pads with a little bit of color on them. But I'm thankful for Lynn at the Outpost for loaning them to me, because it got me going. Anyways, when I was looking around for pads, I was initially going back and forth between some Vons, which looked really nice, and I also really liked the graphics and the way the Reebok Revokes were set up. And the problem was I wanted to get a cheaper set, so I was looking at the 7000s. But they don't make them in my size, so the 9000 it was. Besides, I figured I'll spend a little more and not have to replace them as quickly. When I was looking at the pads, I noticed these had come out, and I was always a big fan of Koho growing up, watching Patrick Waugh and the rest of them wear it, and had a pair of 560s myself. And they were really nice pads. The only reason I had to stop about 12 years ago was because it was just getting too expensive, and if anyone's ever had a single parent, you know how finances go for the most part. So from there I went into football, but I digress. Anyways, when I was looking at these, I couldn't find any reviews on them. So I figure I'll toss my hat into the ring and give people who might be interested a little more information about them and a better look. So far, like I said, I've had them since last February, so almost a year, about 10 months, a little over that. And they've been holding up great. There's only been one bit of wear, and that was an error on my part as far as strapping them in. And I'll show you that in a second. So let's go take a look. As you can see, the front of it, flat face design for the most part. Some knee rolls. Those do actually help with the flexibility a little bit. It does have a single brake, so it's not that flexible, and when I got it, it was stiffer than hell. But now I've got them broken in nicely, as you can see. The toe's still kind of stiff from working on it and haven't found a good way to break that in without skating on it. But I haven't had any problems as far as that goes. And we'll actually go to this one because this is where the problem was. As far as the landing gear, it's nice and wide, giving you plenty of area to aim for. And so far the only trouble I've had getting onto it is when this elastic part in back had it strapped on way too tight and it tore the stitching off the top, so it made it even looser, and my knee ended up missing it. As far as the knee stacks go, they're nice and thick. The ones on my Von Legacies, that was as thick as it was this piece right here, so I had to have knee pads outside of this. These things actually came with knee and thigh guards, which are, for some people, they say they're too bulky. For me, after a skate or two, it felt just fine. The only trouble I had with it is that it was initially attached right here with the lace, but whenever I'd go down and by the end of the game, the thigh pad would keep sliding down my leg further and further, not really doing it good. So I'll show you what I did with that in a second. When I was looking at the Revokes, I did remember seeing a tip about doing this, attaching it to the little tab on my pants. And this is what it comes with. So far, they work beautifully. This part right here is not so much padding, it's just making it a little softer for your knee stack. So, because these things are hard as hell. If you don't use these, definitely recommending having knee pads of your own, because those things hurt if you land on them without anything. The thigh guard itself works great. I haven't felt really anything through it. The only trouble I've had, as far as feeling things, is on very rare occasion. It's happened only once or twice I can remember. The puck, see that little hole right there? Somehow managed to sneak between my pads, miss this completely, and miss my pant leg completely to go through there and hit me right on the top of the knee. Other than that, no problems with it. You can see the inside of it, continuing on, is all nylon for the most part. It has the Clarino stuff right down the middle, with nylon on the outside. Down in the toe area, the boot area, whatever you want to call it, that's leather. Inside of here, from what I've seen of the Reebok pads anyways, like the Premier 2, Premier 3, and the Revoke series, when I was in trying different pads on, these fit just like them. Has leather straps all the way around. Goes right through there. I wear them pretty loose. When you get them stock, the top two buckles are actually attached up here. I removed them because they're getting annoying up there, and like this way a lot better. I wear them loose as hell anyways, so it's like they're not even on, so it doesn't matter too much. Going down to the toe, that's a regular lacing system. It did come with this big thick leather piece. Don't know what the hell they called it, a toe spacer or something like that. It's about that thick, that wide. And it had holes in it and basically gave you a little over an inch of space between where the lace was coming out and where your skate would attach. I tried it on 2 skates when I first got these pads, didn't care for it, so just removed them. Another problem, but I think everyone has this. Occasionally it'll come loose and I'll cut a tip off the lace. Other than that, these are an excellent pad. Highly recommend them to anyone who's interested in the Koho series. I love the graphic. And definitely love the design. A lot better one than what they initially had out, the 700. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too keen on the shin rolls. So yeah, we'll give it one last look at the set before I sign out. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the box below, and I will get back to you eventually. Otherwise, if you like the video, go ahead and favorite it or subscribe. I'm planning a couple more, and the next one will be going over the gloves. Other than that, you all have a good one. Peace.